Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for giving me the inspiration to do this video. Double honors to our apostles and elders for teaching us this word, and shalom to the elect. All right, the hopeful and faithful elect. All right, the pious elect. So that's the exact word I want to get into, is the word pious. Okay, now the word pious, as we see on edamonline.com, is from the Latin pious, dutiful, devout, conscientious or conscientious, religious, faithful to kindred, inspired by friendship, prompt by natural affections, perhaps related, pure, clean, often coupled with fraud, all right, from at least 1630s, all right, which I don't know why that word is there, fraud, but anyway, I want to go into this word, and as you see, the word pious basically deals with diligence, all right, it deals with diligence, it deals with to being clean, all right, and what made me want to get into this video, I want to pull this up here and share this with Akim, which, okay, the name of my page is GMS Assyrians DMV, and just to give brothers a background on basically why I picked that was because when I read the scriptures on who the Assyrians were, they just seemed to be brothers that were just, ready to go, up in arms, just, no hesitation. They were zealous to help fight with the Maccabees. So that was the main sole reason of me picking that name. Now, moving forward, in the truth, I had looked this up a while back, and basically wanted to do more research on the Assyrians, being that I had the name Assyrians, all right, and just to cover all angles, just in case somebody asked me who the Assyrians were or whatever the case was, I was able to back up the name that I chose as a page. And in fact, the first couple videos was supposed to be a camp page, but the Lord had me just use this as my personal page. But moving forward, it says the Assyrians. It says Assyrian, only in plural, right? You got the Assyri. Probably this is the Hebrew word chasad, or it says chasayadim. All right, in which when you look this word up, it can mean I'm sorry, yes, mercy, and it also is the word saints, as it will explain here. So it says it occurs only in the Apocrypha. It says First Maccabees 2:42, 7:13, Second Maccabees 14:18, where it is applied to the body of zealous and devoted men who rose at the signal for arms resistance given by Mattathias, the father of the Maccabees, who under him and his successors upheld with the sword the great doctrine of the unity of the Most High, and stemmed the advancing tide of Grecian manners and idolatries, right? Because when you read the Maccabees and you read about when the Assyrians helped the Maccabees, that's when they rose up and fought against the Hellenistic implication on Israel. All right. Now it says the epithet evidently designates a section of the Orthodox Jews, meaning the epithet is, if I'm saying this word right, it basically means, I pulled it up here, it says an adjective or descriptive phrase expressing a quality characteristic of a person or thing mentioned. So when it says the epithet, is basically making reference to that name Assyrian, right? It says designated a section of the Orthodox Jews, meaning they were basically, the Assyrians were basically a sect in Israel, like how you had the Pharisees, you had the Sadducees. All right, there were other sects that were named, as when you go further into this, there were many different sects of Israelites, just like how you have today. You have Great Millstone, and you got ISUPK, you got IUIC, you got GOCC, you got We Got Next, so on and so forth, man. You know, there's different sects, and there's always been different sects in Israel, all right? So moving forward, it says the epithet evidently designates a section of the Orthodox Jews. When the word Orthodox means the original, all right, Jews, it says as distinguished from the impious or the impious, all right? Now, the word impious, when you have the word M or you have the prefix M or you have the prefix N, it means not. And you have the word here, it says irreligious, lacking reverence to the Most High, from Latin impious, without reverence, irreverent, wicked, undutiful, unpatriotic. All right, when you deal with the word patriotic, it's dealing with the fathers. All right, from assimilated form of N, see, yeah, N or M, meaning not pious, meaning not religious or not pure, in which we're going to get into that a little further. All right, so continuing on, it's here back at this is the McClintock and Strong's Biblical Encyclopedia. McClintock, I think his name was William McClintock, and then you had James Strong, if I'm saying the names right, which that's where we get the Strong's definitions and Strong's concordance, which these were men like back in the 17, I believe, hundreds, maybe 1800s, that did their diligence and they actually made a concordance. They made an encyclopedia for the scriptures. All right, or for the elect, I might add. All right, so continuing on, it says that. Okay, it says distinguished from the impious, right? The lawless, the transgressors. That is the Hellenization faction, right? Because during the time of the Maccabees, you had a lot of Israelites that were not pious. They were impious. They were actually getting into the Greekish fashions as you read the Maccabees. It says when Bacchides came against Jerusalem, they used their influence, 1 Maccabees 7:13, all right, to conclude a peace because a priest of the seed of Aaron, Alcinous, was with him, and 60 of them fell by his treachery, right? And then when basically they were deceived by men they thought were upholding the law. All right. It says the Jews at a later period gave the name Chasadim or Chasad. Yeah, that's how you would transliterate this back into the Hebrew. It would be Chasadim. All right. To those pious persons who devoted themselves to a life of austerities and religious exercise in the hope of hastening the coming of the Messiah and of making an atonement for their own sins and for the sins of others. And that's the point right there. So you had a group of men back then that were called, in Hebrew, they will be called the Chasadim, which means mercy or means saints. All right. Which all in all, that goes hand in hand. And when you go into that, that's why they were really, they were considered pious, because what did it say here? It said what? On edamonline.com, it said what? That the being pious equals what? To be pure. And that's what the word saint means. To sanctify, which means pure, means being clean. All right? Why? Because being devoted or being dutiful makes you clean. It makes you pure. All right? Being religious, being patriotic makes you pure. All right? And to back that up, I'm going to go get scriptures. All right? This is the main one I want to get. All right? This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 14. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, all right? Talking about the prophecies, all right? Talking about hastening the day. So in the midst of us hastening the day, what are we supposed to do? What does Peter say? Be diligent that ye may be found in him peace, without spot and blameless. Okay? To be without spot means to be pure, means to be clean. Why? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to have mercy on you, because you showed yourself to be pious. You showed yourself to be diligent. All right? Let's go into that word diligent. Well, it doesn't say much, but it does give you synonymous words. Endeavor. Endeavor is a good word. Labor is a good word. Be forward is a good word. Study is a good word. You know, diligence, of course. Give diligence, okay? All right. Oh, okay. To hasten, to make haste, to exert oneself, you know, or similar, you know, exert oneself, endeavor, give diligence. We can take a look at the definition of this word real quick. All right. The word exert means to apply or bring to bear, to force, influence, or quality. All right. So I'm gonna go back to that verse again. Where were we at? Okay. So to force yourself or to labor or to study, you know, that makes you pure. Being pious makes you pure. All right. So I'm gonna go to another scripture. This isn't going back. It's all good. Made the point already. What's this? Okay. Okay. Let's go to here. All right. It's another example. This is Acts chapter 17, verse 11, talking about the church of Berea. It says, these were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched the scriptures daily. Why? See, they were pious, man. They were religious, so to speak, meaning they were strict, whether those things were so. See, because when they things that they were taught Paul, they went and they did their due diligence. All right. That's why I had the word noble up in the Greek. All right. It says well born of a noble family. That's not what it's talking about. It says noble minded. All right. To be noble minded. Okay. And his other words that are synonymous: high of rank. Okay. But that's the point right there. To be noble minded, man. Okay. And that makes me think of this scripture. Recently I've been bringing this out a little more. You know, this is Sirach chapter 11 verse 1. Wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Okay, now when you read Sirach the 6th chapter, Sirach the 4th chapter, it talks about how you attain wisdom. Okay, just to get one quick point, because we're talking about being pious, which basically means to be strict upon yourself. All right, this is Sirach chapter 6 verse 24. And put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chain. All right, that's basically self-explanatory when you understand what a fetter is. All right, meaning lock yourself in. All right, bow down thy shoulder and bear her. We read that earlier. You know, about what was a word? One of the words we read. You know, it says, and be not grieved with her bonds. All right, being to be bonded, it means what? To be how would you say, like enclosed in, you know? So continuing on, it says bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Okay, bond or bind, that's the same word. Okay, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. When thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. See, and that's the point right there. And I'm gonna go back to Sirach 11. It says, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree. Why? Because you know, through that through being pious, being diligent in the search of the word of the Lord, that's what makes us pure, even though we're in a low degree, and we know that there's better promises. That's why when you read, I believe it's the second Ezra, it talks about how when Yahushua returns, that we're going to be crowned with glory. Why? Because we were diligent. We were pious, man. Just like those men, the Assyrians, and what you can say as well as the Maccabees, man. They were pious as well. All right. Got some other scriptures. All right. This is Proverbs chapter 13 verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Why? Because Yahweh is not one that he should lie. First and foremost, I want to get this scripture real quick. All right, this is a common scripture, but it applies. This is Sirach chapter 2. Right. Verse 8, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. See? Your reward shall not fail. That's why those that are diligent, he shall be made fat. What does it mean to be made fat? We're going to get the riches. You're going to get the glory. We're going to be crowned. You know, we're going to sit amongst kings, man, from being diligent. All right. Remember, another word from being diligent was to labor, man. It was a rapper back in the day. He used to say, work like a slave and eat like a king. All right. And that's our mentality. We work like slaves to eat like kings. Okay. Moving on to the next verse. It says, this is Proverbs 22:9. See thou a diligent man in his business. Okay. We see diligent men in their business, starting with the apostles and elders of great millstone. Yahweh Shah was the greatest example. The man didn't have a place to rest his head. He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. We'll go into that word mean. All right. I looked this up before, but, you know, I don't remember. So it's good to go into it again. And that's what diligence is. Okay. And the word is chashaka. Chashaka. Okay. It says obscure, insignificant, low. All right, so being diligent will get you away from low men. All right, obscure men. Okay, let me look this up real quick. The word obscure is not discover or known about, uncertain. This does not the scripture say we will give fame in a land that we will put to shame? Only the diligent is going to receive that. All right. Let me see what else I got. Okay, we read that. Okay, got one more. No, I read this. Okay. But yeah, that's the point right there. So, you know, the point is that, you know, the word pious, you know, it basically means to be religious or be adamant or be diligent, you know, to be hasteful, you know, to labor. And in the outcome, we will be successful. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to sup with you, man. Don't the scripture say, behold, I stand at the door and knock, and anyone hears my voice, I will come in unto him and sup with him. You know, that's Yahweh Shah, you know, giving us his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, with that, we're going to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua once again. Okay, double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone, and shalom to the elect.